I'm sick of Satanists. They're just such freaking hypocrites! I mean, they say they don't believe in Satan, yet they're called Satanists. And with their moral philosophy of pluralism, they say that it's not relativism, but it is! I mean, talk about the father of all lies. I'm gonna expose these freaking dumb hypocrites. Alright, let's shoot it. So Vice has done a video on them, very funny, after Sanctuary Church, where we're trying to bring out political godism. They're actually bringing out political Satanism over in Arkansas. Luckily, the good people of Arkansas has actually stopped them from having a Baphomet statue right next to the Capitol lawn over there. The thing is, what they're complaining about, these babies complain that the 10 Commandments was placed onto the Capitol State lawn. They're saying that, well, see, that's a religious thing that you guys are accepting, so you know what? We're gonna demonstrate. How about we bring out our Baphomet statue, and if you guys reject, then it's proof that there's a theocratic, tyrannical rule that is happening into this country, in which Lucian Greaves, the guy who's the most outspoken guy right now in the Satanic Temple, has mentioned that because of Donald Trump that's the president right now, it's becoming ever more clear that there's going to be a more theocratic rule. No, it's not a theocratic rule at all. It's actually a protection of everyone's rights. Okay, and I'll explain why. Which, by the way, I don't want to describe so much of their hypocrisy. You can actually check up on Mark Dice's investigation on these Satanists, and also Pastor Sean Moon, my pastor, he has also talked to a former Satanist himself, Zachary. He admits about the two different sides of Satanists, one that is theistic, the other that is actually non-theistic, but really they really do worship Satan if you really get down to it. Okay, so I'll put those two links below. These guys are just freaking trolls. They trolled in New York, they're trolling Arkansas. Now they got to Illinois, and they did. And now, I mean, what do you expect from Illinois? You know, that state is run by a very liberal state. The Illinois State Capitol was saying, well, that's their freedom with the First Amendment. We can't tread on that. Here's the thing, okay? Why it's not treading on your rights? It's not treading on your rights. And I feel bad for the Christians and the conservatives and libertarians who did get caught up in this, did get sucked up in this, and thinking they're actually protecting individuals' rights, when actually they're protecting evil people who will later infringe on everyone's rights. If I were to explain, it's kind of like a guy making a nuclear bomb in his backyard in a, let's say, in a nation that believes in the Second Amendment, but it's like, okay, why are you making a nuclear bomb over in your lawn? That should draw concern, because that nuclear bomb isn't meant to just protect your household. It's, you don't know, you're gonna use it on other people on another side of the world. I mean, what? So it would be natural for people to want to investigate onto this guy who's making a nuclear bomb in his lawn. Same thing, we should seriously investigate who these people are. You know, what they really stand for. And here's the other thing, okay, that we have to concern ourselves with, is that our government came from that Judeo-Christian background. As a matter of fact, that Arkansas senator has said it, that the 10 Commandments was there on the state lawn because it was one of the first moral code laws that was implemented in a society such as, you could say, Israel. In a way, there's like a mixture of Christianity and just governments, right? So it makes sense that the government does come from that kind of a background, and which in fact America has came from a Judeo-Christian background, in which, again, because of the Judeo-Christian background, we could have this freedom more so than any other country that has some other background. Matter of fact, where Satanism comes from, more so from polytheism, from the Canaanites, or from Babylon, and so forth. And these countries have never produced freedom at all, okay? So with these Satanists who want to implement, who wants to force their way in getting that Baphomet statue, if you know where their values come from, again, they say pluralistic value. Hail to pluralistic values in the name of pluralistic values. Do you guys know what pluralistic values mean? Okay, it sounds nice, I guess, in some way, maybe to some people's ears, but pluralistic values, let me at best try and define it to you. Pluralistic values is basically trying to define one's human dignity, one's human value as a collective based on the individual will. These people, again, have said that pluralism is not relativism. Well, that sounds like relativism to me if it's based on the human will. Well, I can define the level of human dignity or level of human value, and you could define it differently. By that basis, I'm my own God, and who's ever watching, I think you guys should be dead, or I think you guys should be my slave, and that's fine. And that it could just go around a whole circle. So in the end, it just causes slavery. They try to make it really nice with pluralistic values, saying like, oh, no, we should debate on what would be the best idea, but to enhance onto the human dignity, to enhance onto the human value. No, human dignity and human value do not advance. It's already there. It's already there by our creator. So that's where our government is already coming from that basis of recognizing the value of what human beings have. But the thing is, with the whole Baphomet statue and with that pluralistic value mindset, it's there to define human dignity, there to define human value, which is based on the individual will. It could be based on anyone. And for these pluralistic values to thrive, it's actually based on a democratic rule. Again, the majority rule, that's how it's based on, okay? So again, it's relativism. You know, these guys, they try to act like, oh, we're being oppressed. Oh, you know, they're trying to seem non-violent in a way. But no, man, I mean, this happens so much in history where these people look oppressed, and then slowly but surely, when they gain more power, they start to become violent. That actually did happen with Islam, okay? I don't mean to be an Islam basher right now, but that has happened with Islam where they were oppressed. And as a matter of fact, the Christians and the Jews actually helped them, but then later on, when they got more so recognized and eventually have more power, they finally implemented their full philosophy on enslaving people, but based on their philosophy. And that's the same thing again with these Satanists. So when they want to implement that Baphomet's disgusting statue of these two little kids who are in reverence of this decrepit, disgusting, freak of nature Baphomet God, what they're trying to say is our government should implement this value onto all of human beings, however it's defined, rather than the government being based on that one set of values, that one set of Judeo-Christian values in which God has already recognized our value, and the government should recognize that as well and not infringe on changing that value. And we have to be really honest with ourselves. What is the main goal of Satanism? It's eventually to get babies. They love abortions. They love abortions. They want abortions. Why? Because that way it sucks up the pure energy of a child to come to them, and they could feel empowered, just like how Satan has done that to God's children in the beginning of history. You know, you could check up on some of these Satanists and they'll say, no, we don't do child sacrifice worship or whatever. No, dude, these guys are hypocrites. I stated that they say that they don't worship Satan when they do. And they say that pluralistic values is not relativism. Again, these guys are the father of all lies. Yes, it is. It just gets that end goal. Again, if you go and watch the interview that Pastor Cheon Moon had with Zachary King explains all about it, about the whole satanic worship of wanting to kill babies. Abortion, in a way, is a satanic ritual in and of itself. So when these people are complaining that their rights are being infringed and all that stuff, no, you're not. You're not oppressed. As a matter of fact, you can still practice your disgusting religion. In irony, you say that it's not a religion. You guys are atheistic in a way. So in a way, you're practicing your freedom of speech. But yes, you guys are allowed to. Okay, you could have your creepy rituals in some basement. You could do your freakish, maybe eating some naked body cake outside in the dark with some candlelights going around or whatever. No one's chasing you, okay? No one's chasing you to try to stop you in doing whatever stupid, dumb, disgusting rituals that you do, which I don't get. What? Normal atheists don't do rituals, or at least don't do intentional rituals and try to harness some dimensional power. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys are so hypocritical. But anyway, these guys, their rights aren't being infringed. They're making a straw man. The thing is, they're pushing it onto the government itself, and which is rightfully so. What the government should do is that they don't represent this stuff, which Illinois should not have accepted. Those Christians and those conservatives and those libertarians over there who think that they're supporting their rights is potentially getting everyone else's rights infringed. Because why? When you're gonna let that come to our state government, our state capital, then you're ever more letting Satan to come in and convince people that it's okay to have this type of worship of this deity. It's okay to have this type of lifestyle. I mean, sad to say, think about our politicians. Usually politicians are stupid suck-ups to anybody. So man, if we got some really bad politicians who will suck up to Satanists, imagine what they would let going in schools. Plus, here's the other thing about these Satanists is that they are truly the enemies of Christianity. I know that Lucian Greaves said, I'm not trying to take away the 10 Commandments down from that state lawn. I'm not trying to infringe anything on Christians. I'm just trying to look for freedom. Well, I mean, here's the thing. When you give these people power, okay, which they admit themselves that they are the enemies of Christianity, okay, that once they get even more power, then eventually they're going to get to the schools, the universities, to high schools, and they're going to just make Satanism okay, just so blatant. And then eventually it's going to get to the point where finally when they get their utopic satanic world, yeah, Satan does exist. Ha! Fooled ya. Yeah, well, I'm not fooled, and a lot of other Christians aren't being fooled. Christianity should be brave again. So Christians, fight back against these demons. Illinois, you Christians in Illinois, you should fight back against these demons. You should seriously destroy their culture, because if you don't, then furthermore, Illinois, that state of Illinois, and especially in Chicago and other places, you guys are gonna get truly demolished. Christianity, be brave again. I love you guys. Peace out. Mwah.